Morning, everyone. It's Joe Waxman, and I'm back with another video. This morning, I want to look at the chart of actor Brad Pitt. I'm sure you've heard of him. He's been in a few movies. He's pretty well known. I'm being sarcastic. Everyone knows Brad Pitt. How can you not know him? Oops, sorry about that. Now, I'm not a huge fan. I don't hate the guy. I don't love the guy. Um, you know, he's attractive to the women, I suppose. Um, what else can I say about him? All these Hollywood bigwigs, they got so much power and influence that we really don't know what's beneath the surface. And I just want to preface with that. I know there's a lot of stuff that sort of comes out in the fringes but gets hushed up and stuff like that about what these big powerful Hollywood famous people do in their private homes or whatnot. um, Stuff with children and all sorts of crazy occult stuff like that. I mean, Illuminati things and child trafficking and adrenochrome. It's like I don't trust them, but at the same time, it's like, do we know for sure what their personal involvement is? Everyone's an individual and has to make their own choices. So we can't outright lump them all together. I mean, that's quite ignorant as well, to say that they're all bad people. I don't know. I don't really know. So we have to have some skepticism. Anyway, 18th of December, 1963, 6:31 a.m. in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Brad Pitt. He's a Sag sun in the first house, Sagittarius, right? And he has that, that's definitely, I mean, sun in the first house, first of all, his sun's right there. It's like big and bright and, lighten up his whole personality. It's got the ascendant and the sun together. The two most outwardly influential positions, planets and positions. The sun's obviously, it's not a planet, it's a star, but sun in the first house is just like big and bold, and it's like you can't ignore it. A lot of egotism, a lot of star power, a lot of success potential, because it's the self, it's the sun and the self merging together. And Sagittarius is a fire sign, so sun does well in Sag, and Sagittarius is just so cool and relaxed and chill and hey man, yo man. They got the swag. They got this like cool factor, not cool in the literal sense. Cool because fire's not cool. Fire's hot. But like they're just they just kind of got this really nice vibe. That's very confident and relaxed and easygoing and just capable all at the same time. Philosophical, adventurous, all that. Then he's got this crazy stellium in Capricorn. Basically, it's conjuncting the second house cusp. I mean, a little bit in the first, but moving into the second house. And that's very prominent in actors. A lot of times we'll see the second house, first and second house, very prominent. First house is the self, second house is the voice. First house supports the second house. Second house supports the third house. Third house is expression. So, and he's using his voice. Actors use their voice. That's how, and they need to be able to have a strong voice, like a voice that really commands attention and can, be not only strong and powerful, but, third house expressive. So second and third house, first, second, and third house are for actors, singers, anything like that, stage performers. We want to see really strong. Now he's got Mars, which is exalted in Capricorn, conjunct South Node by 1 degree. Mercury's at 16, Moon's at 22, and Venus is at 23. Moon is obviously in detriment in Capricorn. Venus does not do great in Capricorn, but all these together, it's still good because Mars is here. Mars is leading the way. It's because it's the first planet in the stellium. So it's influencing when you have a planet in good dignity together with planets with not in good dignity. The planet in good dignity helps out all the other planets, right? So Mars is leading the way with the stellium. Mars in Capricorn is very in control, very in command. It's like a very respectable Mars. Right? We feel like, okay, this Mars is an accomplished Mars. We better. It just commands respect. It has authority. It has power. It has control. It's a Mars who's been through it's like a soldier who's gone to war and come back, and they still have all their, they're strong, and they have the experience, and they have the know-how, the knowledge, the power, everything. They got it. They know what they're doing, and they're in control. That's the Mars in Capricorn. And in the second house, it's his voice. It's commanding authority, commanding respect, commanding power, and leading all these other planets, especially with South Node. South Node Mars is still a very capable fighter because South Node denotes the skills that we're born with. And the South Node being a force an influence that is detached, will make this person not so much of an eager fighter, but a capable fighter, somebody who is not going to go and seek out fights or go and, necessarily be overly aggressive. But if they are attacked, or if they are in a position where they need to fight, they definitely will, and they definitely know how, right? They're going to be more peaceful with the South Node here, because South Node is especially if we talk about Vedic significations, it's spiritual. So it's detached and spiritual, right? Not saying that Brad Pitt is spiritual, but the South Node in general. So South Node to Mars is going to be, they're going to want to have a more peaceful demeanor about them, more peaceful attitude. But definitely, if they need to, they can have that reserve of fighting. It's like somebody who's been through a lot of fights and is now done with fighting, but you better believe if you come at them, they know how to fight. Right. Okay. South Node Mercury as well. This is somebody who knows how to speak, who knows how to communicate, who knows how to be intellectual. South Node Mercury can be very intellectual, but it's more than that. I mean, it's South Node Mercury, Mars, and then Moon and Venus are even in there still. Mercury to Moon is very expressive emotionally, especially. But with the Capricorn's going to restrict it naturally because the Capricorn Moon does not express itself well. So this is kind of he's going to express Capricornian things well. So authority and leadership and structure and kind of very masculine expression, right? With Moon and Mercury there. And then Venus as well. It's going to soften up definitely that Moon because Venus is a very emotional, creative, heartfelt planet. Venus creates tenderheartedness. Venus conjunct the sun or the moon. I mean, it can go different ways. It can be very indulgent, right? And so Venus conjunct the moon can be somebody who's very dependent upon relationships and materialism, shopping, buying stuff, assets, wealth, especially in the second house in a materialistic sign like Capricorn. And I would suggest that Brad Pitt definitely knows how to be materialistic, right? With this Capricorn second house stellium. However, the South Node in Capricorn also suggests that he can be a little bit detached from all that as well. So it's an interesting combination of hyper materialism and kind of like been there, done that. What's next? Let's move on. You know, especially as he gets older. North Node in Cancer, coming up against the 8th house cusp. I'll get to that more. I still want to look at this, but as he gets older, his emphasis is going to switch. But so yeah, relationships are going to be very important to him. But at the same time, with the South Node here, even though it's a wide conjunction, it's still going to influence them. They're not going to be great, right? Moon conjunct Venus suggests somebody who's very need for their emotional satisfaction. They need relationships, and they need all the Venus significations, romance, creativity, love. Venus, even in the higher expression, is it's very heartfelt. Less so in Capricorn, because Capricorn is not going to allow that kind of expression. So I think probably when he was younger, relationships were extremely important to him, probably still are, but at the same time, they're not going to go great. And we know that. I mean, we know how many times he's had, how many different, wives or girlfriends he's had, a lot. I don't know if he's had affairs. I don't really follow Brad Pitt that closely, but anyway, the second house stellium, for an actor, it's what we'd expect, definitely. Right? Dispositor Saturn is also in good dignity in Aquarius in the 3rd house. So that's second lord in the 3rd house. The voice is coming into the house of expression and communication. For singing, for acting, for anyone who's using their voice, that's what we'd want to see. Exactly, 1st, 2nd, 3rd house, super powerful. Yeah, that makes total sense. In regards to like his association as being like a sex symbol, I mean, okay, well, true Lilith is pretty much conjunct his ascendant. It's from the 12th house, but still huge influence on the ascendant. So, I mean, that's interesting. I used to not give much credence to Lilith, but the more I look at it, the more I see that definitely it has strong impact on how a person is seen by the world. Then we get to this Pluto Uranus conjunction. This is a generational conjunction. These are generational planets. I mean, this is the 60s, it's 1963. This was the revolutionary conjunction of the 60s that spurred the hippie movement. It's very prominent in the 9th house, but approaching the 10th house cusp in Virgo. Right? Same sign as the 10th house cusp. So that's very prominent. Not only that, this is very, very significant. Uranus and Pluto are both stationary retrograde, moving extremely slow. That is very, very powerful. Not only that, let's look at the declination. Mercury is out of bounds. Venus is almost out of bounds. Mars is out of bounds. See, they're all in Capricorn, and whenever, I guess, so Capricorn. So the winter solstice is right there at 0 degrees Capricorn. So all these planets are right at right around the area of the extremes of the season, the sun, right? December 21st would be the winter solstice. So that shows that they're more likely to be out of bounds. Also, like when they're here, June 21st, right? So it's more extreme. It's more extreme. Let's see. Sun is right at its limit. 23 degrees, 27 minutes would be the limit. Moon is not out of bounds, but close. And then so Mercury, Venus is almost, so Mercury and Mars. So we got an exalted Mars that's out of bounds, and then Mercury is also out of bounds. So things having to do with Mars and Mercury, like he's probably very argumentative. If you argue with him, like forget it. I mean, he'll probably, he knows how to talk. He knows how to argue, especially with South Node here. Like, best not to argue with Brad Pitt. Like, he's quite aggressive, I imagine. Well, with South Node, less so, but definitely he knows how to be, verbally aggressive and argumentative, for sure. And these are all trine, this Pluto, the stationary Pluto, Uranus, sorry, in Virgo. But let's see. I mean, ninth house is religion and philosophy. I don't think he's that religious. But Pluto and Uranus are not really religious planets. They're more just revolutionary, especially when they come together in Virgo. I mean, we just think about everything that happened with the hippies, right? They turned Virgo values on its head, right? Virgo is that, clean, posh, everything is nice and virginal, leave it to Beaver kind of thing. 2.5 children, 2 cars in your garage. This just flips it on its head. And so the roles that he takes in his movies are kind of indicative of that. Even with all his good looks, he plays very unusual roles, like think about Fight Club, Benjamin Button. He likes to play these very strange, weird roles, unusual roles. And I think that's very much having to do with the Pluto, Uranus, and Virgo. He's just flipping things on its head. And he's kind of ironic in that way. Like he likes to be ironic. He likes to take this pretty boy image and flip it on its head. And so that's one of the reasons why he's really successful, I think. It's this Pluto, he likes to be a little bit revolutionary and rebellious. He likes to be a bit of a bad boy. And that's coming through in this conjunction here. Let's see, Neptune is in Scorpio. That's in good aspect because it's sextile. It's basically conjunct the 12th house cusp. Not basically, it is conjunct the 12th house cusp. So that's excellent for acting, movies. Neptune strongly relates to movies, fantasy, acting, all that, creativity. Right. What else? This Jupiter in Aries is quite unusual because it's in the 4th house and it's square the nodes. It's not a great dignity, but it is the ascendant lord. It's the ascendant ruler. So the ascendant ruler is a strong indication of the person themselves. So being in Aries, which is not a great dignity, in the 4th house is somewhat of a hidden house, right? It is a water house. We don't always know about what goes on in the 4th house. We can say that, well, he likes a big house. He likes a Jupiterian house, very big, very large, very abundant. He likes mansions and big luxuries and all that, cars, assets. But there's also some mystery. Aries is a sign, it's ruled by Mars. Aries is a sign of aggression, fighting. Aries in the 4th, Jupiter. Hey, what was that movie that he played in? Oh yeah, Fight Club. What was Fight Club about? Oh yeah, a secret club where you go and you fight. And he was what? He was one of the teachers. Oh yeah, that's Jupiter. This is like Fight Club, and it makes me wonder, what's Brad Pitt doing in the secrecy of his own home? Is he having a secret fight club? Could be. Hey, we don't know. I mean, these millionaires, these multimillionaires, they can have a big mansion, then underground could be all sorts of illegal, illicit things that we know nothing about. I know that Brad Pitt, he's a fighter. He's aggressive. He knows how to fight, and he quite likes fighting. And then Mars is square Jupiter. Mars in Capricorn, conjunct the South Node, is square Jupiter. That's very physical. That's very, it could be somebody who likes to coach others, somebody who's into sports themselves, sports and physicality, fighting, in the the comfort and privacy of their own home. Fight Club might be real, because sometimes what they do in Hollywood is they'll make movies about real things, and they'll make you think it's fake, but they're really telling you the truth. I think there's something to Fight Club. And then, you know what else? If you're conspiratorial like I am, I like to know all the secrets because I got my sun and Venus in the 8th house. Then you'll notice that all the Hollywood celebs and politicians, there's always this one photo or multiple photos with them having a black eye, the Black Eye Club, right? What's going on with that? I think Fight Club is real. I think Fight Club, the movie Fight Club, was about something that actually is real. And I think Brad Pitt is one of the main players in Fight Club. I think that's real. Now I'm going to look at Edward Norton's chart to see if there's something similar in that, because I think they were just telling us about what's really going on in Hollywood. They have a real Fight Club, and it might be a little dramatized in the movie, but I think there's something really about that, because this Jupiter in Aries in the 4th house, there's something very significant about that because it's ruling his ascendant, right? So he's got stuff going on at home that we really know nothing about. Yeah, big time. And it's in Aries. I mean, he's fighting at home for sure. He's doing something at home, right? Let's see what else. Chiron's in Pisces in the 3rd house. It's opposite this Pluto Uranus stationary in the 9th. I think this probably has to do with the roles he likes to play. He likes to play unusual roles. Chiron is sort of the wounded healer, reject. But Chiron is in Pisces is also very compassionate, and he likes doing philanthropic work. So I think he probably has empathy and compassion for sure. That doesn't mean he's not involved in nefarious things. I'm not saying he's a great guy and that he's not doing other things that would counter to that, but he's probably conflicted, and he probably has, somebody pointed out one time that people with their IC in Pisces are socialists. And I know he's very into the whole Hollywood, we have all the money, you guys be poor slaves and vote for, socialist policies and all that. So I don't doubt that he's misguided in his empathy and compassion, but there's nothing that says that you can't be like I've heard the term stupid saint comes to mind, where somebody's just like full of love and good meaning. And I'm not saying that he is full of love. I'm just saying that the term stupid saint comes to mind because somebody can be, have a good heart essentially, but their brain is like not functioning right. So they don't know what they're doing. And they're just like full of love and then acting in stupid ways. Like you can be a stupid saint. And I'm not saying that Brad Pitt is any sort of saint, but you can have people doing awful things, and at the same time, they still have a sense of empathy and compassion. And it might be poorly directed in the world, but it doesn't mean that they're heartless and cold. And so I think Brad Pitt has some of both going on, because Capricorn can definitely be cold-hearted, right? Pisces can be the stupid saint, right? And so I'm not trying to I don't know enough about Brad Pitt to say either way. I just know a lot of Hollywoods are Richies are into horrible things, and then they try to make up for it by donating tons of money, and then who knows where their money's really going. Some charities are a front for awful things as well. So it's like we don't know. It's really hard to know. And I'm trying to remain objective. And it'd be easy to just be like, oh, Hollywood, they're all Satanists, they're all horrible people, but we just don't know. And you can be ignorant on either side of the spectrum. Like if you're conspiratorial and you can just be ignorant on that side and just be like, they're all Satanists, they're all horrible people. We don't know. And people can change too, right? People can be doing horrible things and then completely change. And I believe that, that everyone can go through different things. Anyway, I don't know. North Node in Cancer suggests to me, conjuncting the 8th house, that he's going to play more of a hidden role as he gets older. He's already older. He's 1963. That's in 2003, he was 40. So he's like, what, Jesus, 40, 60. He's already, damn, Brad Pitt's old. He's basically almost, no, he's over 60, I guess. Or just about, no. He'll be 60 in I guess 2023. He's upper 50s. So he's already into his North Node. And I think he'll probably, as he gets older and older, play more of a secretive role, because Cancer is a water sign, and 8th house is also hidden, secret things. You don't get a lot of limelight in the 8th house. 8th house is more about research and digging up, hidden things, the occult. He might become more of an occultist. He might become more of, an Illuminati occultist as he gets older. And we'll never know, because it'll be hidden, right? Maybe he already is. Maybe he'll get more into his secret fight club and hold, satanic rituals in his basement, having to do with fighting and occultism. I don't know. Anyway. And on the surface, he'll donate his millions to like children's funds that, I don't know, maybe going towards horrible things or not. It's hard to say. Anyway, that's Brad Pitt. You can tell I have a lot of questions and skepticism about him and a lot of Hollywood people, but I'm trying to remain objective and reserve judgment. But there's a lot of horrible people in Hollywood. For certain, like, and really, really, really horrible, like the worst, like child traffickers and child abusers and pedophiles and adrenochrome users, all that. So anyway, I still got to look at it. We still got to, I'm still an astrologer. I'm not going to avoid all these people just because I think they might be into doing some bad things. I'm still going to look at their charts, and they still have a career, and they're still going to have powerful charts, and they're still going to, be famous for something. People, you can't make somebody famous if they suck. They're just not going to be famous. Nobody's going to like them. You make people famous who already have famous qualities. And then, when I'm talking about the Illuminati type, like they go to people who already have potential, and they say, we'll help you, we'll support you. Anyway, that's all conspiratorial stuff. Anyway, not relevant. But anyway, guys, that was Brad Pitt, for what it's worth. And if you enjoy this content, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. And go to my website, macroastrology.com, if you'd like a reading. Hit me up. All right, guys, thanks. I'll see you soon. Bye.